wonders if you want to hear a story about a brave engineer. Now, Casey Jones was the rounder's name on a 6-8-wheeler, boys, he won his fame.
Hey there, my name's David Mays, your host for this edition of a program I call Along the Model Railroad Line, a program where we talk about the fun you can have playing with trains. And of course, obviously, I enjoy playing with trains. And one of the things I enjoy doing, and a lot of people enjoy doing, is building kits. I mean, could be kits, build, freight cars, passenger cars, locomotives, could be some sort of structure, factory building or farmhouse, whatever. And there's a bunch of companies that support that, providing all kinds of things we can enjoy building. And one of the companies that does this is a company called Athearn. They've been around probably since about the late 40s, early 50s, producing kits, again, for freight cars, passenger cars. They're well known for a line of locomotives. The company's still around. It's part of the Horizon company now. And they still produce locomotives and pre-assembled, already assembled freight cars and passenger cars. So don't make the kits anymore, but kits are still available. I mean, you got some examples here. What's some people call the blue box kits. Distinctive blue color of the boxes. And you can still get these kits. A bunch of them on eBay. You find a bunch of them at train shows, various things like that. A lot of hobby shops still stock them. And so, like I said, just to enjoy building kits, they're still available. And like I said, Athearn's produced a lot of different styles. Again, got a couple of boxcars here, a gondola, like tank cars, hopper cars, whatever. And what I'm going to be doing on the show today, I'm going to show you how I built this kit. Now these Athearn kits they're actually pretty simple, kind of easy to build. I mean, at most, the only tools you might need is probably maybe some plastic cement and a screwdriver. Well, maybe not this screwdriver, but something more like this. But again, yeah, like I said, they're pretty easy to build. But at the same time, I mean, over the years I've been doing this, I've come up with some little techniques, little tricks and picks and stuff that how to make the assembly easier, help make sure the car runs well, things like that. And what I'm going to do here, the video is going to basically show you how I put this kit together, and may show some of those little techniques, little things I've come up with, and you can show a couple of experiments I've decided to try. So with that, I invite you to climb aboard, sit back, and enjoy the show, and we'll take another trip along the Model Railroad Line. All right, get started here. Show you what I got. Got here a Athearn Blue Box boxcar kit. Classic design. I think they've been using this artwork for years. The artwork itself shows some products Athearn has or have offered over the years. I mean, the steam engine itself is probably a drawing or painting of a model they offered back in the early 1960s, a 462 type steam engine that was based on a prototype used by the Boston and Maine. And back here in this corner, you got a Union Pacific F7, and then of course got other showing various freight cars, again based on all Athearn's offered over the years. And you got a streamlined, very Santa Fe streamlined passenger car right here in the corner. Okay, so let's go open this up, show you what we got. This boxcar itself is actually a special edition. I don't think Athearn, Athearn provided the body, but somebody else did the painting, and got stuff written here on the end. It's handwritten, and I find I have a little trouble reading it, but I'll show you here what we got. Yeah, let's do that. Go ahead and do a little inventory, make sure we got all our parts. And it's got some various items in it. Here's get the body out, get it unwrapped. Yeah. There you go. Move that over there. Make sure we got our doors. This particular boxcar is a 4-door design. So we want to make sure we got 4 doors here, which we do. A 50-foot boxcar. This is a special edition boxcar. It's lettered for the Waco, Austin, and Bryan Railroad, serving Central Texas, the the WA and B, number 3104. It says here, express service. It's actually a letter to commemorate the Capital City Limited, and hold up here close, Central Texas Division of the Lone Star Region National Model Railroad Association for a convention in June 27th, 29th, I think, in the year 2000. So that's been around a while. I did not go to that convention. I think I had to work that weekend. I don't remember. But anyway, I like to collect cars that are littered for other model railroads, and this is an example. And like I said, the Lone Star region has traditionally made cars for their conventions. And like I said, missed that convention, but I was able to buy this off eBay. So anyway, do a quick inventory. Like I said, I've got the body, got 4 boxcar doors. Okay. So it's got the frame, the underbelly and the frame, all that's there. Got a little insert. Here's the instructions. Okay, pretty basic. And you got the steel weight. Okay, so I'll put all that back in here for a minute. Just want to open this package up because this should have the trucks and the couplers. Let's see, reach up here and there we go. Grab some scissors. Make sure I'm not going to cut into something. There we go. Pour that out. Got 2 pair of Athearn trucks. See that? There you go. And also some coupler boxes, little sheet metal boxes Athearn puts in their kits. And of course a couple of 2-56 machine screws. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do some prep work before I actually start building this. Put all these parts back in the box. We don't lose anything. Okay. Important thing to do would be to check the condition of the trucks. When you do that, check the trucks. But take a close look at it. If you got something like one of these magnifiers, that's a big help. Kind of just look, see if there's any flash. Sometimes there's a little bit on the wheels, especially around the flanges. I can see a little bit here. There's nothing serious. Main thing I want to do is to check the gauge. Now sometimes these trucks, you'll get a little bit of flash there around the journal. These trucks here seem to be good. Let's check the other ones. Yeah. And let's see. Look good. Seeing to roll real nice. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to check the gauge. Be good to get you one of these. So-called NMRA gauge, produced by the National Model Railroad Association. This is for HO scale. It's got various things on there to check gauges and widths and narrowness and all kinds of things. There's a place down here for check the gauge of rails, and a couple notches here for checking the gauges of the wheels. The way you do that, just pull up the wheel there. If they're engaged, the flanges should go into each little notch. This gauge, this wheel seems to be good. Just kind of wheel it back and forth with it. The other one, yeah, it's good. Okay. Now another thing I'm going to do, got this little tool here. It's a device for kind of making sure let's pop this off. Got the space right here inside the journal is, proper shape. Make sure there's nothing clogging it up, clean it out. This is a so-called truck truer. Okay, try to say that 3 times fast. But again, it's just a little tool used to kind of check the contour of the inside of the journal. You get these from a company called Micromart. I think they're going around $25, $30. So side note, backing up the NMRA gauge. Looking on eBay, a couple of places, they're averaging around maybe $20. So it's, when I bought this, I think it cost me $1. So it's something about how long I've had it. Okay. Now, the way you use this thing, we'll go so-called truck truer, or truck tuner, maybe that's what I need to say. Either way, should be just kind of spread the frame out a little bit, stick that thing in there between the 2 journals. Like that. There you go. I can see that. And then just kind of squeeze lightly, and then just kind of twist it around 3 or 4 times. You can actually feel it cutting into the plastic. And like so, just true up the contour of the journal, so make it easier for the wheel to spin. And just kind of spin it around. Do the other side. Same thing. Just give it a little squeeze. Just kind of twist it whichever way. Just a bit of resistance. That means it's cutting into the plastic and doing its job. And so just remove a very little bit of plastic. so the truck will spin more freely. Okay, put that back. Put that back in there. I'll just go and do the same thing. I'll just spread the side frames out a little bit. Take that out, just do it there. Same thing. Now, the way this thing works, one end has this little notch cut into it. You've got with sharp edge. The other end is just a plain. And like I say, put it in there, twist it around, you'll remove just a tiny amount of plastic. So let's do the same thing on this one. Just get a little squeeze. Get a little squeeze there, just a little bit, and then twist that around. Till you feel there's no longer any resistance. Flip it around. Do the same thing the other side. Okay. All right, that's good. Put that back in. Let's go and do the other wheel. Take that back out. Put the wheels, axle back in. Before I do this, just to show you real quick, like I said, the gauge showed that the wheels are in gauge, so we really don't need to do anything else. But for some reason, they were out of gauge, and the way they make these wheels is basically a steel axle with plastic wheels pressed onto it. I assume they got some machine to do that. In that case, you'll get one where it's slightly out of gauge, which in some situations isn't really a problem, but it's one of those things where if you can get the gauge where it needs to be, they'll help compensate for any issues you might have when you actually run the car on the train line, in case there's something not quite right in the track. So you want to try and get everything as perfect as you can, so it'll run as smooth as you can, and also compensate for any imperfections might still show up. Now, if this wheel were out of gauge, I'll just simulate. I'm not going to try to move it, but you can usually just kind of grab hold of the wheels like that, one to the other, and just kind of gently twist it. Kind of, if the wheels were narrow, just kind of twist and pull just slightly, and then give it a little, maybe slight turn, and then go back to the gauge and check it. If you need to, keep doing. And of course, if the wheels were wide, you can just kind of push on it while twisting it. My experience seems to be if there got to be any issues, the wheels will be slightly narrow. But again, so let's put this back together. Now, something I'm thinking I'm going to do here, which I really haven't done elsewhere on other cars, but maybe I'll go back and fix it. Got this bright silver axle. So I'm going to take just a little bit of paint and paint them. I mean, in real life, you don't see these bright silver axles on the cars. So we don't have to do that here either. Let's see. There we go. I got some Tamiya flat black paint. Just shake that up a little bit. Oh, here, one thing, let's put this thing back in its bag. The thing's small enough to lose it. I keep thinking this is the second one I've had because the other one disappeared. So through that now, just set it over here. See that. And tell you what. So I got to paint the axles. And I take a real quick. I mean, it's things like that, just little things. I mean, you can build the kit just as it is, but doing little things like this kind of just add something to it. Okay, just take this Q-tip, just dip it there off the lid, and here. Just kind of dab it on there. There you go. Let's see. Here. Let's see here. Let's go and use a brush. I got this brush sitting there. I think that might be easier. But here you go. Just paint it on there. There you go. Just kind of brush is wide enough to fit in there. All right. Be sure to grab a paper towel. There you go. Some paper towels handy for things like getting paint on my fingers. Now let's flip this over and do the other axle again. Kind of just do it like that. There you go. Okay, let's set that down, let that dry for a minute. I'm going to stop recording for a second, so I'll go wash out the brush. Okay, we're back. and kind of clean up some of this mess here. Now, next thing I want to do, this is part of the process. I'm doing some prep work. What I want to do is get this steel weight. It'll go under the car, kind of go like that. But what I want to do is I'm going to paint this also. A couple of reasons for doing that. Be on the bottom. If by chance you ever, heaven forbid, your car derails on your layout and flips over, where people can see that shiny underbelly, that little embarrassing silver reflection under there, kind of hide that. The other reason it's made it a little more practical is to paint this thing, seal it up so it doesn't get rusty. I mean, this weight is getting some rust on it. I've seen some Athearn cars are, several years old, and the weights weren't painted, and like I said, just covered with rust. I've never seen one where the rust ate completely through, but I can imagine it could happen. So what I'm going to do here, got one of these sanding boards. Actually, I got this at a Walgreens, the cosmetic department. Probably find them any place they sell cosmetic for, people or the women, like take care of the nails. But these are real handy if you need to sand something. And for this, I'm just going to roll it over the edge, just like this. Both to get rid of some of that rust, and also give the metal just a little tooth. We'll kind of scratch up the surface a little bit so the paint will stick better. Hopefully painting them will prevent that. Okay. Now next thing, here. Just kind of paper towel over this, wipe the rust off. Okay. Handle the thing by the edges. The idea, don't want to be getting any skin grease on the surface. In the larger scheme of things, that probably won't really bother anything. But now what I want to do here is take advantage of this box lid. Just gonna cover everything in there. Keep track of all those parts. Set that there. I'm going to go and paint this again using the Tamiya flat black. You could just, spray paint it. Be real easy. I probably would do that. See, especially if I had several of these to do. But at the same time, this will work. Just slap it on there with a brush. You dry fast, and then we can keep going. Okay, so back it up. Alrighty. Okay. There you go. I'm going to stop, give this a chance to dry. We'll work on something else for a couple minutes. Then we'll flip it over and do the other side. Okay. Do the edges. Go around. Okay. I'm going to go rinse the brush out again. Okay. Give that a chance to dry, then we'll do the other side and do something else. So, right back. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and flip this over and paint the other side. Alrighty. Seal that up. Shouldn't need to paint anymore, but it'll be here if I need it. So, again, a little break. Let me go wash out the brush one more time. All right. Alrighty, back again. Let this the weight dry for a little while. Put it aside and do something else. A couple things I gotta do. I'm gonna get this thing ready. A lot of times with these, these underframes, you got these little bumps on here. That's where the plastic was injected in the injection machine, and a lot of times there'll be little bumps left behind. Now, ideally, I like to remove those. Easy way to do that, get a X-Acto, in this case, an X-Acto brand knife with a little chisel blade. This is not, this is an older blade, so it's not, not as sharp as it would have been new, but for what we're doing here, it'll be fine. This is not anything where I gotta be precise. So, just get down in here, get the knife in, just kind of push on it. The way they got the blade, you got a little bevel right there, and then the other side's flat. Usually, when I'm trying to cut away something like this, I like to orientate the blade with the bevel was on the bottom. To me, it just seems to help it get the the bottom of the nub. Okay. Just kind of get it here close. See what we're doing. You just kind of just start pushing away at it. Doesn't take a lot of force. Just kind of worry it off, and try and get the surface here as flat as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, but if your nubs are left on there, it may cause some interference later when you try to put the frame, underframe on, along with the weight. There you go. All right, that'll do it. All right, set that aside. Now, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and install the couplers. I'm going to use some KD number 5s on here. Going to do a little bit of prep work. And sometimes you get little bits of flash here on top on the frame. There's a little kind of a button there on top of the coupler box. I mean, this side you can see where it is, but it's almost flat, whereas over here it does have a little bit of a bump. Again, we'll just kind of remove that. Everybody just use a knife. And also use sanding paper or sanding sticks, things like that. There we go. I'm going to do a little prep work, get ready for the couplers. I've got some KD number 5s, got a bulk pack. Gotta be needing 2 of them. So open that up. There we go. And grab some tweezers. Reach in there, get out 2 couplers. And 2 of the little bronze or brass springs. There we go. And just seal that back up, set aside. Let's see. A couple of the other things to do here. Let's get the coupler boxes there with the Athearns. It's basically some little thing made out of sheet metal. What I like to do, take a needle file and use it to kind of smooth out this inside edge. But sometimes I have those right here on the edge. This is where the coupler will be hanging out. You sometimes can actually feel there's a little bit of a lip there. Maybe hard to see, but you can feel it. Apparently, with the machine punched the pieces out, kind of was going, that direction, and so it left like a little bit of a jagged edge. Really easy to fix. Just take a file, just lightly, just go run it over there, like that. There we go. Same thing, the other one. Alrighty. Checking the couplers. Everything looks like it's good on it. Got springs on there. Sometimes I'll take one of these couplers out of the package like that, and a little spring there holds the knuckle closed when it popped off. Fortunately, they usually come with some extras. I got some extras in a little box over here. They're fairly easy to replace. Sometimes, in theory, you could put the coupler in the box like it is, but in practice, again, do a little prep work. It'll give you some work a lot better. Now, a lot of times these couplers there on the face of the knuckle, there'll be a little line there. That's probably left over from the casting process. Doesn't really necessarily hurt anything, but I do take take that file and just kind of run it over the face just a little bit. Take that off. I want the couplers to operate as smoothly as you can. Okay. Little trick I'm going to try here. I mean, in Katie instructions, they talk about taking, this little tube of graphite, what they call greaseum, a dry lubricant, and kind of puffing it on there under the shaft, and then take it like a screwdriver or something and rub it on there, kind of polish it. A little trick I read somebody doing, I'm going to try here. I got some basically liquid lubricant, something called Neolube. I got this from a company called PBL, Peterbilt Locomotive Works. It says here on the label, it says super electrical conductive dry lubricant that leaves behind an incredible polished steel-like appearance. In other words, people like to use this, they'll paint this on the side rods of their steam engine models and gives it a more metallic steel, like look, and that's what I've used it for. But it is otherwise it's a liquid. Technically speaking, it's a dry lubricant, but it's suspended in some, I don't know, alcohol or something. I just shake it up, got a little ball bearing in there. You can get this off, I don't know, Micromark has it. I've seen it on Amazon. I mean, stuff's like $30 a bottle, so, it's not cheap, but at the same time, a little bit will go a long way. But like I said, the idea is you need something that works best with dry lubricant. Just paint this on there, let the solvent evaporate, and then it leaves a layer of, graphite on there. But the little trick I've read people doing, get this open. There we go. For something that's supposed to be lubricant, it kind of sticks real hard. The trick is take the Katie coupler and just dip the whole thing in there. That's what I'm going to do. Then I'll put graphite all over it, including inside the inner workings there. What I'm going to do here, I got this little device that with alligator clips helps hold on things. Good for you when you start, soldering parts together. What I'm going to do here, just put those in there, grab hold of the uncoupling rods, or little wire sticking out there, and dip it in. There you go. Let's go ahead and kind of paper towel under it. Same thing with the other one. Yeah, that stuff, you want to be careful of. Tend to stain anything it drips on. A little bit will go a long way, so let's just kind of twist this around like that. And just seal this back up. It's one of those things like that spills, it's got a stain. Never get that stain out. Okay, put that over there. And just take a screwdriver, got a little bit right there where the hole is. It's not coming out. There you are. Here we go. Wad up a little bit of paper towel like that, a little tail. Just plug it in there. There you go. Same thing the other side. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to let that sit and dry for a few minutes. Okay. Set this over here in case it drips, catches on the paper towel. Meantime, let's go and do a little work on these box covers. In theory, I probably could do the same thing, just dip it on there, but in practice, it's probably going to be a little bit of a mess and not really necessary. A little trick I've been experimenting with. Again, you got the dry graphite you put on there, like that. Yeah, a little bit will go a long way. I've had this tube for years. What we can do, got the thing's copper pocket cover sitting there. Just take some of that greaseum, just kind of pour it on. It just pours on. Seal that up. I got a little bit on my fingers. It'll come off. As long as it's not on my clothes or something. And reach over here. Grab a little jeweler's screwdriver and just reach in here. Just use that to kind of polish it, rub it back and forth. get everything, coated dry lubricant and everything. They'll be, be moving around in the coupler box. So it'll make it easier for the coupler to swing back and forth.
Okay.
Alrighty. You don't need to do anything like that to the springs. They should be just fine like they are. Let's see what this thing's doing. Yeah. Right up. They still be just a little damp. I think they may be good. Okay. So let's just drop that there and there. Alrighty. Now, okay, what I'm doing here, I'm going to go ahead and install the couplers on the frame. Because to me that's just easier. Yeah. The KD couplers come with instructions, but I've done this so many times, practically just know the routine. Now, if you get one of these so-called whisker couplers, you don't have to worry about dealing with that spring. Right now, I'm still using the KD number 5s. They work just fine. Future, though, I may try some of the whisker types. Pick it up, set it right there inside the coupler box. Just slip over the little pin right there. Take the coupler. Just grab a hole like that. Set it in there. Like I got all that dry lubricant just coating the coupler. There you go. Right now the coupler kind of wants to fall out. It's kind of nose heavy as it were. So I'm going to try that here. Let's borrow this. Just going to push down that, push it under. There we go. That'll help keep it in there. Next trick, of course, is now to use put the coupler box. Now again, little thing here. Even though that thing's probably already got plenty of lubricant, just take some of the grease and just puff a little bit more in there. There we go. There you go. Now what you want to do with the coupler boxes, they need to kind of go on, spread out and go on either side of the coupler box. And there's a place, a little hooks on either side. These things should slip over. Should not need too much force to do that. There you go. Just kind of just push down. And there you go. You hear it snap. Okay. Start over. Double check something here. Can see a little flash right there along the edge. You just take a file. Knock that down. Just not much there. Here we go. Same thing on the other side. All right, let's try this again. Get it on there. There you go. And here. So the graph I got fell out. All right. Let's try this again. Okay, just push down on it. And okay, there we go. Okay. And just kind of seems to be moving back and forth real good. Like I said, this little metal kind of straddles the coupler box. Like I said, there's little hooks on either side. Sometimes a little bit of flash might get in the way, so watch that. It's on there real good. Now, another thing you can do, over, you need to, just take a pair of pliers, make it, shift their position, just reach over here on either side, just give it a light squeeze. There you go. Make sure it's on there. Alrighty. And now we do the other end. Looking good. Okay, let's set this aside a minute. Let's grab this, move that out of the way. Next thing, this thing is pretty much pretty dry. Not, paint job's not pretty, but it'll work. Now what you can do, just drop it in there, like that. If you want to get real daring, a little bit dab of glue in there. Doesn't have to be much. Just a little dab will do you. Got basically just contact cement of some sort of Gorilla brand. Should work just fine. So it's a fresh tube also. Let's see. Okay, like I said, just a little dab. Just a couple places. Kind of keep, help it stay in, the weight stay in place. Okay, set that aside. And just drop that in. There you go. Like that, just press down. There you go. Now, next thing, we can go ahead and hook this on. Do like that. Let's see. Have to worry it on there a little bit. There you go. Turn it around. Push it on there. There you go. Here. Pick that up. Make sure everything's lining up. Let's see. I just have kind of that. And there you go. There you go. The parts don't quite line up, but a little gentle push on will usually get it to work. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to go ahead and put the trucks on, and then we'll move on to working on the body. So what I'm going to do here, the kit comes with a pair of machine screws, 2-56 fine thread machine screws. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put the trucks on for now, but I'll probably take them back off later when we make some more adjustments. Now, you could just take the screw and just run it in there. Got a little handy tool here, not sure how I can see it. Push down the button, a little jaw, kind of a jaw-like thing comes out and makes it easy to pick up the screws. So you're just going to get in there like that. There you go. Yeah. Makes it easier to put it. Now what I'm going to do, if you could, you could just put the screw in there and just start twisting on it. But what I like to do, take here a little tap. Tap is the device used to put threads into a hole. And this one, again, how well you can see that. Got a little pin vise here I'll put it into. Very handy tool. Now, if for some reason you don't have a tap like this, a little trick I've done is to take a so-called self-tapping screw. Got one here, again, 2-56. Yeah, I'm not sure how well it shows up the camera. Just take my words there in the tweezer. And what it is basically it's a regular little screw. It's got some down the edge end here. It's got some little notches. Got that one there. Got another one here. Pull that out. Got one big notch cut into it. The idea though is that it allows that as the screw is screwed into the hole, it'll actually cut its own threads. And put it in there a little bit, get a little twist, and turn it back so the little bits of plastic being cut out and fall out, and just keep going. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm not going to thread the whole hole through on here. I'm just going to put in maybe one twist to give the screw we are using something to bite into when it goes into, when it's screwed into the hole. And part of that is I actually have, in the past couple kits, I remember, go ahead and threading the whole hole through, and the screw went in real easy, no problem. But then when that car was running around the layout, the screw wasn't in there tight. And it just kind of works its way, fell out of the car. Had to go find it. So the idea is I'll just put enough threads in here, probably not even a full turn. Like that. Just to kind of get it started. And again, just give it a couple of twists. Like that. Should go in real easy. Again, just kind of pull it back out a minute. Go back in. Just enough, like I said, to kind of get something started. There you go. Because you do want a portion of the hole not to have any threads cut in it, so that when the screw goes in, it'll have something that has to kind of bite into, and that'll help it stay in place. The alternative would be you have to go in there and put a little drop of glue of some kind, contact cement, CA type, whatever. Let's do the same thing over here. Don't need much. There we go. That should be enough. Set that aside. Now, put the truck on there. Got the little screw here and the little screwdriver. Put that in there. And you get a little twist. Okay. Now come back. And gotta use a Phillips head screw, a Phillips screwdriver. This screw turns out it's a Phillips screw. Okay. Now just gotta screw it in there, twist it around. Kind of get it past where the threads have already been cut and just kind of let it twist in there and make its own and make a nice snug fit. Alrighty. Now at this stage, you really don't have to drive the screw all the way in. Just want it in there enough to hold the truck in place. And there. Again, like I said, I'm not going to drive it in all the way, because at some point towards the end of getting this kit put together, we're going to check the couplers, make sure they're the correct height, and everything's working. So for right now, we just set that aside, and now we're going to work on the boxcar body. I got a boxcar body. It's a so-called four-door boxcar, and that has this extra large opening, so you either use two doors to cover it, keep it closed. What we're going to do here, go ahead and attach a part. There's a place here for the brake wheel here on the end. That's a real easy part to install. There you go, just see that right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, there's a little bit of flash here on the edge. Again, part of when it came out of the molding machine. It's real easy to fix. Usually, just take the knife, just kind of trim that off. There you go. Just a little bit, then you can come back. Again, the sanding board. And check, see if any other places need it. Looks like it's good. As far as gluing is concerned, just some basic, plastic cement. Just put a little dab there in the hole. Just put the lid back on. Move that out of the way. And then, just carefully, and catch it like that. Between your thumb and finger. Just reach up here and get there in the hole, and just push down on it. There you go, goes in real easy. And twist it around a little bit, just kind of help the glue spread around the side. And after that, pretty much just leave it alone. Okay. So we can go ahead and work on some of the other things. Now they've got 4 doors here. A lot of times, before you put the doors in, kind of give a close look. See if there's any cleaning you need to do. A lot of times, again, you'll have the little marks here in the back from the molding machine. You might want to carve those down. Also, where these things here are kind of little claws that hook on this railing right here. When Matt Athearn originally designed these cars, it was still kind of fashionable. They have little features like operating doors, Maybe increase the play value or something. But no. Most of the time you see a boxcar being hauled at a train, the door's going to be closed. Okay. Now, occasionally you might see something, a car with a door open, but most of the time they're closed up. And there's even rules about that. So, practical, purposes, once you get the doors on the car, they're never going to open again. I've even heard of some models, you can go to trouble just going to cut those claws off. First, I just go and leave them on, more just ignore them. But anyway, do a little prep work, and you got a little bit of flash here in the back. Again, just may take a chisel blade and carefully cut it along the edges. Just do like that. Now, another thing do take your number 11 type blade and do a little more cleaning. A lot of times with these doors, the boxcar doors, Athearn's back, they'll sometimes have a little bit of flash building up there. Again, in that spot there, we got these hooks or claws, or whatever you want to call them, and it will interfere with the ability of the claw, the door to slide onto the railing. These look to be pretty good. Okay, I can see a little spot there, right there. So you can get in there and just remove just a little bit. Not much, but just a little bit. Make it easier to install the door here in a minute. Okay. Now let's check on the boxcar itself, especially this lower right railing. Because again, I've noticed sometimes there'll be a little place with the flash in the railing. What you have to do is going to be sliding the doors onto the railing from this direction. And just opening here at this end, but it's blocked off of this end. Now, of course, pay attention which door you're using. These doors do go in a certain pattern. If you look real close, you should see some locking mechanisms right here and here. And those go together. So going on the by like this one here has the tack board on the lower end of the car, of the door. That'll go on first, and this other one, the tack board's up higher, will go next. And just move those out of the way. And sometimes, again, you're a little bit flash, maybe a little bit of flash right there. So I can see just a little bit, and just get in there with a knife. Just kind of carefully carve it away. Alrighty. You can also use a file for doing it. This particular file, I'm not sure you can see that well, but the way it's made, I got the filing on both sides, got something on the edges. Got another one here. Okay, got another one here. Yeah, got the file on both sides, but it's get maybe hard to see, but it's actually a kind of wedge shaped along here. So this, you got the flat side on this side, and then it's actually narrow here. Again, still some teeth on there. So use either one of these. Just get in there and just carefully file that out. There. There we go. Okay. All right. Put that aside, move those out of the way. Install the doors. Yeah, like I said, you got 2 doors here. We'll install this one first. Again, it's got what they call the tack boards down here on the low end of the door. And Yeah, just got to go over here and just push on there, kind of make sure everything's engaged. Just gently push on it. There we go. Now, what I gotta say is, if you can, like I said, this top edge is catching on here on this upper rail, so that's good. So just keep pushing and get right there and push on it. There we go. And just keep going. Get right there. There you go. Go and get the other door. Double checking, make sure there's no flash in the blocking way. I can see a little bit here. Let's get back in here with the knife. A little bit of flash here on the bottom of these claws, for lack of a better name. Push that into place. Now if you can, and you push this on, your idea you want to catch the top edge with this upper railing, but if for some reason you can't, just keep pushing it on there. There you go. Yeah. Push on it down here on the rail. There you go. Okay. Okay. There you go. Move that back down. Okay. And just kind of gently push on that. Get that door out of the way. Just push it back just a little bit. Okay. Again, if you can look here, you can see there's a little break right there, a little gap. Probably see it here on this side. That just means these pieces are railings, right here are two separate pieces. I think originally when after you made these kits, those were separate. They weren't already applied. You had to do them yourself. But then these more recent kits, they go ahead and did it for you. Otherwise, it's pretty easy. It's more or less just a press fit. But anyway, what I need to do now is get that upper edge of the door underneath that railing right there. And it's more or less just kind of reach under here, one finger, thumb, the other, kind of just gently bend it down a little bit. Yeah. There you go. And it should just pop in. Okay. There we go. All right. Now just push that back to the middle and push that door like that. And that side's pretty much done. There you go. See a little something here I want to fix. Got a little piece of flash right there. It's keeping the door from closing completely. So again, just get the file out. All right. Push that back. There you go. A lot better. Okay, let's go ahead and do the other side. And start with the door that's tack boards down the bottom. Double check, make sure I got all the flash out of the way. That's good. Okay, I can see a little bit, something there in the corner. Same thing, just carefully slide it on. There you go. All righty. Now the next thing, we're going to go ahead and attach the body to the frame, and then we'll move on to make some final adjustments. Okay. All right. Next thing we're going to do, we'll go ahead and join the body to the frame. A couple of little things I got to do real quick though. Show you how to do it. The National Mall Railroad Association has various recommendations about how to do models, and one of the things they came up with is this recommendation about how how much the car should weigh. Okay. Athearn cars, as they come out of the box, tend to be a little light compared to that, recommended practice, the NMRA weight guide. And so what I do here is we're going to kind of check this car's weight. Reach over here. Got a handy little scale. Scale is probably not 100% accurate, but it's close enough for what we're doing. So let's go ahead and weigh this before you can put everything there. Just do like that, then like that. And if you can see there, maybe a little hard to see, but it comes out to just like 3¼ ounces. Okay. Now the NMRA recommended practice for HO scale equipment is going to be 1 ounce and then a ½ ounce for each inch of car length. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Here we go. Get measuring tape. The 50-foot boxcar in HO scale translates to 7 inches long. Okay. And the math would be 1 ounce plus a half plus 1 ounce plus a ½ ounce backwards. 1 ounce plus a ½ ounce for each inch. Okay, got that correct. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it's half, 1, 1½, 2, 2½, 3, 3½. So that'd be 3½ ounces plus the 1. Ideal, this car should weigh around 4½ ounces. Okay. Now, the car as it is probably heavy enough. I mean, unless you got some very rough track, it should track fine. But I'm going to go ahead and add some weight to it anyway. Now, as for what kind of weight? Well, a lot of people use some type of lead. Various companies do sell little wet lead weights you can stick into the car. It's got my little piece of double sticky tape on it. Do it like that. Some people get fishing lures, sporting goods store. I myself have over years collected this box full of lead weights. A lot of them are stuff. I mean, I'm just walking across a parking lot somewhere, look down, there's a lead weight that fallen off somebody's wheel that had been used for balancing tires. I just reach down, pick it up, stick it in my pocket. I've even found these out in a driveway in front of a tire changing place. So again, it's like, here, I'm gonna take some of those home. So, put that aside. And that's how to attach them. They're just some contact cement. Now, obviously, be aware, you're working, dealing with lead, take some appropriate precautions, make sure I'll wash my hands after I get through gluing these in. But the act itself, real simple. Weights like this usually have spots kind of a little bit flatter than the others. And since it is a little dirty, let's see, reach up here and the brush. Yeah. And just gotta brush that off. Just do that. Right, just do a quick check on the weight. Okay. Put that on there. Put that on there. Comes out to about 3¼ ounces. So ideally looking for 4½. And got that weight there. Just set it up there. Well, almost. And put that there. It's just made 4¼ ounces. Now, for my purpose, that's probably close enough. Okay, doesn't have to be exact. Move that out of the way. Again, just kind of got the flat side there. Got my contact cement like that. Just put a little dab right there. Cap that. And since I got two weights, I'll kind of put one over, this end or just over the truck, and of course do the same thing the other one. So again, just kind of do like that. Kind of do it like that. Make sure it's more or less centered. The same thing here. Okay. Do like that. Now, if I was using one solid 1 ounce piece, I'd probably put, of course, air in the middle. But since I got two approximately ½ ounce pieces, I'll put them, like I said, kind of towards the end, over the trucks. Not quite over the truck. There's a hole right there. That's where the screw might be coming through. And I want to make sure I got some room there in case the screw is that long, but I don't think it is. But still, close enough. So let's give that a minute set up, then we'll put the body on. Okay, now I will let this sit for a few minutes for the glue to set up. And so now we're going to proceed to the next part, which is joining these two parts together. Okay, what I'm going to do, got this item here, a little foam cradle, produced by a company called Bowser. Really, real handy for doing work like this. You just take the body and turn it, just set it right in there. Now, show you something important here. A question might be, when we're putting the frame in like this, which end goes where? If you look on the body, the boxcar body, on this end you got the brake wheel. This is the so-called B end of the body. I mean, this would be the A end, of course, the B end for brakes, this end. And what I want to do is orientate the frame so it matches up with where the brake wheel is. Quick story. Here on the underframe, you can see the details. Got the brake cylinder right there. Got the air tank. Thing here represents some of the valves for the brake system. You got the brake cylinder. It's got a little pointy end on it. It's pointing that way, so it means that's pointing the direction where the brake wheel would be. An odd thing about Athearn models, at least some of them, is that all this stuff here, this detailing on the underframe, is actually backwards. In other words, the brake cylinder right on this side should be on this side. The air tank should be over there. The valves here should be, same thing. Story I've heard is that back when people at Athearn were making the plans to make the molds and make these kits, somebody got a hold of a copy of some plans for how the brake rigging worked, but they didn't realize that the drawings were orientated so that you were in effect looking at the brake rigging from above, rather than below. But they didn't realize that. Therefore, they were looking at it this way. They were thinking they were looking at it from below. And they weren't. And so they made all the designs and made the molds so it came out like that, brake riggings backwards. Now, obviously, we want to be picky about it. You get in there, cut everything out, glue it all back in, do all kinds of things. And some people like doing that. For myself, I'm not that fussy. I mean, it's good enough. But at the very least, I do make a point to make sure that the brake cylinder is pointing at the same end the brake wheel would be. So that's what I'm doing. So what we do here, let's just turn this thing sideways. It's not exactly a slip-in fit. We may have to do a little fiddling here. But for the most part, this thing should go into the body and more or less just snap in. So it's easy to do this. Kind of just set it in there kind of at an angle like that. Now we're pushed up against the corners here. Do like that. And let's open that up. Open these doors back up. Yep. Make it easy to see what we're doing. Because what happened is on the underframe here, you got a little lip right here that would correspond with the location of the door, and that thing's supposed to slip over, this part of the door, right here. And then next to that, there's a little tab right there. Not sure you can see it, but it's there, and it'll slip into a hole that's right here next to the door. And that's how you're supposed to slip in practice. You may have to do a little cleaning. If anything, let's just stop a second, take a look here. Because a lot of times what happens is you got a spot there, the tab's supposed to go in, and then kind of hidden by the door, but there's actually got a little spot there and there that needs to slip into. And a lot of times, paint, when they paint these balls, the paint will kind of build up in there, and same thing, a little hole there. Or you may have to come back and, of course, do a little work along this edge here. Just do that right now, because I can tell there's a little bit of flash or something right there. Really easy. In this case, you'll take a little sanding stick thing, just kind of do like that. Just take a few swipes. Same thing there. Now take the edge off. Got a little spot there. This thing's too wide to fit into. Got this little sanding thing here. So again, just a little bit. Don't take a bunch. Take a whole bunch. Clean it up. Same thing on this side. There. And also check the ends. Get a little build up there too. There we go. There you go. Set that aside. And then I take the knife. Double check, make sure there's nothing on the edges here. What I like to do, if anything, kind of get in here, either a knife, be careful about it, and then just kind of whittle that down a little bit. So you get a little bit of an angle there on the end. Hopefully make it easier for it to slip into the hole there. Here, you can use the file, be easier. Okay, set that aside a minute. Get in here, trusty number 11 blade. And I guess get in here and kind of scrape the edges of the hole. Get away, remove any paint that might be built up in there. All right. Same thing here. You can just carefully carve away some of the plastic so to enlarge the little slot. I hope it'll make it easier for everything to go together. All right. Now, put that there. As far as after installing concerned, should be kind of just do it, at an angle like that. And get one side in. Make sure all those little tabs are engaged, going into the slots and other things they're supposed to go into. Yeah. The thing you have to be careful with these cars, especially the longer ones, is the sides can kind of be bowed in a little bit, so you got to spread them out, make sure the frame can go in. Just kind of be careful about it. I've never broken one trying to do this, but I can see where the risk is there. So, okay. Yes. Put it in there. There we go. And should we just pry it the other side? You can push there. Yep. That. And all right. Can be a tight fit, but it'll get in there. There you go. Got all those little snapping sounds. Here, move that door out of the way so I can. Okay, looks like good on this side. Let's see, check the other side. There you go. Looks good. There you go. Everything's in place. Good. Okay. Let's close those doors. Okay, move this out of the way. Now, on one hand, we can say the car is done, but in practice, I got a couple of things I'm going to do on it. Stop that wobble, for one thing, and of course, check the couplers, make sure they're at the correct height. Okay, what I'm going to be doing now, going to make some final adjustments on this car, so it'll be ready for the layout. What I need to do, obviously, tighten the screws on the trucks, but also got to do that as part of the process of checking the couplers, make sure they're at the correct height. Got some tools here for doing that. Well, probably the most important tool is this little gadget here. Again, you can see that. I'm using Katie couplers, Katie number 5s on this car, and this is a Katie coupler gauge. Got a little coupler built into it, set on a piece of track like that. You got little nubs here in the bottom, so you can actually use that to help check the gauge of your track. But basically it sits there like that. This stuff I also got tweezers, screwdriver, so a pair of pliers are used for adjusting the little trip pin on the couplers, and some washers. Explain these as we go along. Set those aside right now. Okay, first thing is just go and check the coupler height. My experience with Athearn cars is pretty much all of them are a little low. You gotta raise them. But first, let's go and check that. Just need a basic piece of track. There's just a piece of 9-inch snap track. Got to be code 83. You put the car there on the track. All the wheels are on. Yeah, right there. Okay. And get the car as close as you can to the end of the track. Now, if you got a longer Athearn car, you probably need to get a longer piece of track, but there's ways of dealing with that. But first, okay, got the gauge on there. Now turn it sideways. Again, I'm not sure I'll show up all that clear in the camera, but at least show how it's supposed to. Got the coupler gauge right there. Just kind of push the car up against it like that. Okay, let's turn this around. I'm having trouble seeing it while getting in your way. Okay. That's a couple things you're checking. Is the coupler itself. You should be able to line up. You want ideally top edge of the coupler and the gauge that will line the top edge of the coupler in the car. Looks good. Maybe just a hair low. Like Athearn cars tend to be a little low. I'll just turn this around and check the other end. Here we go. Like that. Gauge on there. And what you got here, now this coupler is lower, and like I said, the pin is catching, the trip pin is catching on this little platform right there. Ideally, you want the pin to be up high enough that it kind of slips over the top of that. So what we're going to do here, get our handy foam cradle, put that there, and Katie sells washers you use on your cars. Got a bag of them here. They come in 2 thicknesses, and that's two different colors. They got the red ones and they got the gray ones. Don't know the exact measurement, but I think the red is approximately the thicker of the two, and it's probably the equivalent of maybe 1.5 of the gray ones. So I probably need to put washers on both ends, but we'll start out. This one end seems to be a little lower. Get that open. We'll just, let's see, get in there, grab one of the red ones. There we go. Here. I'll just set that over there for right now. Go and grab another one, just have it handy. I reckon it's going to grab a gray, just in case. Something like that. So set that aside. And grab our screwdriver. I'm going to take this truck back off. All right. Okay, I got the screw in there like that. Set that aside. I'm going to take one of these washers. Going to start out with the red one, like this, a little thicker. Just get on there. Most of the time it should just slide on. Occasionally you may have to push it on there. There we go. Want to be on there as flat as you can. Okay. Now, I'm going to take the truck and the screw, put that back on. There you go. Oop. Okay, there you go. And just screw that back in. Let's go ahead and put the screw in as far as you'll go. Alright. Kind of get where you can't turn anymore, then just back up, turn or two. Now check the trucks, make sure they can still swivel. I can tie that a little more. Get where some of that wobble. Okay. Okay. Now, let's put the car back on this section of track. Okay. Yeah, all the wheels are on. Yeah, I'm not sure how clear it shows up the camera, but again, I'm going to put the gauge back on the track, push the car up against it. The pin is still catching on that little platform, but the coupler itself, that looks pretty good. Okay, so I think we got that fixed. Let's turn this around, check the other end. And again, the pins catch on the little platform. The coupler itself, maybe a hair low. Now, as far as tolerances are concerned, on some stuff, yeah, you can be a little sloppy, but I like the idea of trying to be as perfect you can with the couplers because they'll pay off later. You know, make sure the couplers all match on all the cars you're working. Then you have a rough track, cars are rolling across. It'll help kind of compensate for that. If you got one coupler is slightly high, coupled to a car was slightly low, and it goes over a rough spot of track, the couplers may actually come apart, come uncoupled. Here, let's take this off. I think we can get away with using a gray washer on the other end. Okay, grab that. There we go. And slip that on there. There we go. Goes on good. Put the truck back on. And I'm going to go ahead and tighten the screw down as far as it'll go. Alright. Now what I like to do when I'm putting the trucks on the cars, a little trick I've read about and seen it work real good, is ideally you want one truck kind of be, got some play in it like that, but the other truck, the screw will be on there tighter, so the truck can still twist and turn like that, but it won't wobble so much. Provide some, as I remember reading it, 3-point suspension, kind of keep the car from bouncing back and forth. Okay, this one's got a lot of play in it, but this one's a little tighter, so that's what I'm after. Tighten that a bit more. There you go. Still got a little free play there. Okay, let's check the gauge again. Car there on the track. There you go. Turn that around. Again, the little coupler uncoupling pin is still catching. Everything else seems to be good. And get down here at eye level. Looks good. Could be just a bit thicker. Tell you what, I gotta redo this. I use a little slightly thicker washer. Yeah, maybe being picky here, but in the long run, it'll be worth it. So, okay, set that aside. There you go. Apparently, the blade of the screwdriver is slightly magnetic, but the screws are sticking to it. Okay. Anyway, put that there, put that screw in there so I don't lose it. Take the tweezers, take that washer back off. And then take this other slightly thicker washer and put it back on. Here we go. And there it goes. Okay. Put the truck back on. Get the screw in there so it's kind of inside the truck frame. Okay, this should get it. So got a little bit of wobble there, but the other end is relatively stable. Okay. There we go. Alright, turn that around where you can see it. Then check to see everything lines up. Looks real good. The coupler heights are good. Big issue now is to adjust those pins. Several ways to do that. One I like, Katie actually sells this kind of a pair of pliers like that. It's got, you know, see it now, it's got this curvature in it. You know, you got this part of the jaw is round, and you got this kind of little concave part. I think this thing's originally made for bending wires. You put a piece of wire in there, and clamp down on it, and put a little bend in the wire. But they are also good for bending these pins. So for my purposes, just a little bit of, don't take much, and get up there like that. You have to kind of put your thumb there against the coupler pocket just to make sure it doesn't pop off. Then just give it a little squeeze. Okay. And do the same thing the other end. There you go. Now just comment about these pins, like the way they make these. The intent is, if you want to uncouple a car, just have some kind of a magnet there in the track. Katie sells those. Usually a little, I don't know, thing about an inch long, goes between the rails. The idea is, when you uncouple a car, just push the two cars over the magnet, and then you should, well, as long as there's some slack between them, you should be able to just pull the car back, and it should come uncoupled, because the magnet will cause the jaw to go like that, go from the side. And you got some other features help to do that. Some models, however, will cut those pins off, because, you know, in real life you don't have a pin hanging off the bottom of the coupler. I'm one of these people that goes ahead and leaves it on there. I mean, some people rather use the magnet, so use my little screwdriver, you know, like that. Get down there between the knuckles, you know, reach in there, pop them open, or a bamboo skewer, things like that. So again, you don't really need the pins. Personally, I tend to leave the pins on, not because I need them, because they somehow look right. I mean, I see a freight train going down the track near the house here, and all the cars have an air hose connecting between them. And of course, then I see a car, you know, that does not have an air hose between them. To me, something looks weird. It's like, well, something's missing. So I just, you know, bend them up out of the way, leave them there. It looks right. But again, the layout, you know, I'm building, except for some strategic locations where a magnet would be a good idea, I'll probably just again do something like a screwdriver or bamboo skewer. Anyway, let's double check that. Again, couplers line up. Just look close, check with your eyeball. There you go. The pin's up out of the way. Check the other end. There you go. And looks good. All right. Car does not have a undue amount of wobble to it. Basically, this car is done. You know, I could go back, do a little weathering out or whatever. But as far as the car in and of itself is concerned, that's it. So the next thing we'll do, let's go and kind of segue to the layout and get this car's inaugural roll around on the layout.
Come all you rounders if you want to hear a story about a brave engineer. Now, Casey Jones was the rounder's name. On a 6-8-wheeler, boys, he won his fame. The caller called Casey at 4:30. He kissed his wife at the station door. He mounted to the cabin with his orders in his hand. Took his farewell trip to the promised land. Casey Jones mounted to the cabin. Casey Jones with his orders in his hand.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that little trip along the Marl Railroad line. Got a chance to show you how I built this Athearn Blue Box boxcar. Little tricks and tips I've come up with over the years about how to put them together, and hope you found that helpful. Been getting a lot of positive feedback about this program. Definitely appreciate that. And got some plans for more programs. Going to be getting busy with that here real soon. Even think about doing another program where I'm putting together a kit from another brand. Going to show you the little things I've learned how to put those together. And of course, you know the routine. Like, subscribe, leave comments below. Especially if you got some ideas about, like, maybe like we see put together a particular kit, or do some other things. So, like I said, open the feedback. In the meantime, I invite you to check out another program. If the little link isn't here yet, I'll be here in a minute, to another one of my earlier programs. Okay. So, with that, again, thank you for watching. Be sure like, subscribe, and of course, stay tuned when we'll climb aboard, take another trip along the Marl Railroad line. So in the meantime, y'all have a good day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Mounted to the cabin, took his farewell trip to the promised land. Put in your water